Well, I set my alarm super early this morning because I wanted to get some clear on the tank. We already got the stickers on the seat, on the side pieces, to get some more clear on the fender. It's just going to be a great day for spraying some clear, and I don't want to squander it away. And what I do is try to get up as early as possible in the morning, get that coat of clear on. Now all of the clear coats using the system that we use, they have to be within an hour. You can't put a coat on and wait 2 hours. All of the coats, we're going to try to get 2, maybe 3 coats on, all within an hour. This is pretty funny. We have a mockingbird building a nest right behind us. Listen to those birds. It's unbelievable. Anyway, you want to see how these stickers are going to come out? And we will be fighting the wind all day. The wind is blowing. And boy, the wind is really blowing out here, if you only knew. I think we're going to be able to get some clear on here. The most important thing is to get it all around the edges, because that's where you more than likely go through when you're doing your wet sanding. The other day when there was no wind blowing, it was a lot nicer than today. It's battle conditions. I see the wind's even blowing the camera around. Wow. You got to do is jig up that gas tank somehow before it starts blowing any worse. Wow, it's terrible out here. This is really the worst it's been in a long time. Well, we really could use a break with the wind right now, but the truth is I'm not going to hold my breath. Anyway. I'm not sure the wind line, the noise coming from the wind. It's really putting me to the test here. And I don't need it to be put to the test. first of 3 coats. Boy, we fought this through 3 coats of clear. The wind. I got 3 coats on all the parts I wanted to today, but the wind was just horrendous. Oh my God. The wind was a mess. Anyway, those 3 are going to have to dry up now at least 1 or 2 days. Wow. Mark, I think you're going to be real happy with that. I like the look of that tank.
Lollipop was vanilla.
What?
The other lollipop was vanilla.
Did the doctor give you that lollipop?
Yeah, it's vanilla.
Where's mine? Is that mine? Can I have that?
What have to eat this?
How about if I have the new one?
Want to try?
How about if we, listen, when you're all done, should we paint Luciano's motorcycle? Or would you rather play Hot Wheels?
Wait!
How about we paint Luciano's motorcycle with a brush or a mop? And then give it back to him. So where's my lollipop? Hey, where's my lollipop?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Try it.
Yeah, Luciano never brings me a lollipop. We're going to paint his motorcycle some awful color. Oh! Luciano, we're going to have to wait to paint your bike. So the baby had a wonderful day. We took him to the doctor. He behaved. He didn't burn the place down. Anyway, and while I was dropping off the baby, here's the greatest thing. Let me get this out of here. I got to share this with you. This is really priceless stuff. A lot of people ask me, hey, you know, you share everything on the internet. What's the secret for staying young? Well, I'm going to share it right now. Let me open this up. This is the secret. The secret to longevity. This is, I would say if you eat enough of these Girl Scout cookies, you might look like me when you're 80. Anyway, we're going to get busy on Luciano's tank. Now, one of the things I always try to do whenever Luciano brings over a tank, everyone is different, of course. A couple of things jumped right out at me. This tank, it feels like it's solid. This is the heaviest gas tank I've ever had in my life. Woo! I thought the GS tank was heavy. Holy mackerel, this thing heavy. Now, I don't know why Luciano put these stickers on. He must think I'm, that I can't remember. Well, maybe he's right. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get one color sprayed here. We're kind of at the end of the day, but I'll get something done. You got any more of these stickers? Look at this. He's got a sticker over here. And one of the things you can always do with a project like this, there's 2 or 3 steps right now that I can do to get this started so that tonight, tomorrow, whenever, it can be drying. First thing I'm going to, even though Luciano has sanded and cleaned the tank, I want to check. Yeah, he did a pretty good job. Actually, nothing's here is terrible. The body works nice. I have to degrease it. And what I want to do up here, yeah, that looks pretty good. You're getting better, Luciano, after all these years. Anyway, I get these tags. Actually, the worst thing he did was put these tags on. But anyway, here's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to backmask the red, paint this black, which is what he wants. Then what I'll be able to do is either paint the silver or this without, it's going to be several backmaskings, but for sure I don't want to do the top first and then have that tin foil on here for the whole rest of the job. I'd rather have the tin foil down at the bottom here. So let me get a quick sanding on everything, get it all wiped down with Prepsol. And now one of the spots I nearly need to make a little bit better, the reason is these decals stick up out of the finish. And what's going to happen, I can't really fill that with paint. By the time in other words, the decals are higher than the paint. When I put the new decals on top, they're going to be even higher, and we're just going to have a problem. So what I'm going to do is to try to ensure this, I'm going to try to get this a little more level. It's not the bodywork, it's the decals that I think might be a problem here. I'm going to try to spend some time doing this anyway. Because one of the things, I'm only going to get one color per day. Now I know you really don't, you could backmask after a couple hours, but you know, I have always found the best way to do any paint work is to let each coat dry out thoroughly overnight if possible. we have enough projects in the shop, we don't have to try to sheet the system here or anything, because then you don't bury any of that thinner inside the finish. Anyway, let's see if this is getting closer. I think I'll just have 2 more Girl Scout cookies. I really have. And in the beginning, this is true. What I used to do, I'd order them when Karen was at work years ago, and I'd hide them in the cellar. So I don't do that anymore. Our relationship has matured since then. Yeah, that's still up high. I'm getting a little nervous because this is starting to pull up here. I think maybe we'll cut our losses here, and he's just going to have to live with that decal being a little higher than normal. Maybe. Now, I always like to give credit to the people that have helped me in the last 52 years of learning the skill of painting. Keep in mind, I've been doing this a long time. Maybe not as good as some people, but I've been doing it a long time. But anyway, it's all beside the point. The point is, this is a critical thing. Walt Prey, the late Walt Prey, did give me a lot of good information about, and he was a marvelous custom painter out in California. We shared a lot of model airplane stories and technology. Actually, he still has one of my tricked out engines. Good friend of Dave Midgley's, but he did teach us this trick about using the tin foil and not using newspaper. And it has served me well. Using tape and tin foil to backmask just makes it so much easier. I really am thinking this is going to be a problem because these things really do. See what'll happen if these are just the least little bit off and the lumps are off. But if I sand down through, once I actually hit the decals, that turns into another problem. Then you're into vinyl instead of paint. So salvaging old decals is always a real issue. But anyway, I still can't believe how heavy this tank is. You have to experience this. If you were making a cafe racer out of this bike, the first thing you'd do is throw this tank away. You'd probably add about 10 miles an hour to your top speed. Anyway, we're going to bundle this all up. It's not critical. It's getting ready to rain, but we're going to try to get some paint on this. Get that black paint drying. And we will be in the driver's seat. This is black. It'll probably only need 2 coats. I'll sit out here and babysit it for a few minutes, give it a second coat. This stuff usually dries up pretty quick. Well, we got our 2 coats. We're just going to let it dry up. And that's about all we can do on this project for today. But we did get quite a bit done today. I'm really surprised. I think before this is over though, what I'm going to do is take this tank up to the bathroom scale and weigh it. That tank weighs more than my grandson. Maybe that tank has been eating too many Girl Scout cookies. Anyway, those Girl Scout cookies are good. And one final thing before I end any day, I like to look around and see how the paint gods have been to us. This way I can share this with Mark and with, I guess, with the people that are interested in this. I'm certainly interested in it. Next step, next time we get a day to work on it, we'll try to get some decals on that fairing, but we're going to need Mark here because I know there's 100 decals go on that fairing. And I'm not sure where they go, but I'm really, really thrilled the way this tank came out. And I always think, now Mark's got a big collection of bikes. I always think, in my own case, anytime I add a bike to my collection, or I upgrade one, or paint one, or modify one, or put on a muffler, or put on a new set of wheels, or whatever. Every time I do that, it just makes the passion that we share for motorcycling that much better. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and you know, you'll thanks for watching, of course.